Okay, so today we're gonna start graphing linear function again, linear equation, and we're gonna use slope-intercept methods. So last time we talked about x and y-intercept. We find x-intercept, we find y-intercept, and you graph it. And today we're gonna talk about slope-intercept method. So the slope-intercept method starts with the equation of line in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b is the equation of line. M, the number in front, is the slope of the line. And 0b is the y-intercept of the line. So when you graph using this method, you have to have your equation in this form. So the example they give us here, it's 3x plus 5y equals 10. We need to get y by itself first. So we're going to subtract 3x in both sides. We get 5y equals negative 3x plus 10. And then you're going to divide everything. So here you do minus 3x in both sides. I'm just writing what you do in the steps. For the next one, you're going to divide by 5. And then when you divide by 5, you divide everything by 5, and then you're going to reduce, simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1y equals negative 3 over 5x. 10 divided by 5 is 2 plus 2. So now looking at this equation, y equals negative 3/5 x plus 2. You can say the number in front of x is the slope. So the number connected with x is the slope, and the y-intercept is 0, 2. That's the y-intercept. So that's how you find them. So first you're going to find the y-intercept and the slope, and then after that I'm going to show you how to graph it actually. It's really easy to graph from there. So let's do that one more time. Right, the reason for each step. Okay, I already explained the steps, right? I already explained the steps, what you're doing in every step to solving it, to get y by itself. The steps are just the way you're solving equation for y, getting y by itself. Okay, and then let's do the next one, try it. So we have this equation given negative 4x minus 3y equals 21. And it says find the slope and the y-intercept. So that means I have to get y by itself again. So what are going to be the steps? You're going to add 4, right? In both sides, 4x. And then 4x cancel. So we're going to get negative 3y equals 21 plus 4x. I can just write it like this, bring it down. Because 21 and 4x are not like terms, you can't combine them. And then after that, you're going to divide everything by negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So get y equals negative 21 divided by negative 3 is negative 7. Plus and minus is minus 4 over 3x. So now this is my equation in slope-intercept form. Can you tell me what is m, what is the slope? What number is the slope?
Is it the negative 4 over 3?
Good job. Good job. That's right. It's negative 4 over 3. So the number connected with x is your slope. And what is the y-intercept?
The negative 7?
Yes, but you have to put 0, negative 7. That's right. That's right. So the graph is going to cross the y-axis at negative 7, and the slope is negative 4 over 3. So let me explain what is the slope, what the slope means. So the slope is pretty much rise over run, which is the same like change in y over change in x. And here you have a little graph to explain that concept. So we have rise is, so from point to point, you're going to count how many steps you go up. So this is your rise, and how many steps you're going over, which is the run. And the ratio between them is the slope. So the slope, it's a number, And now if the slope is positive, I'm going to write it here. If the slope is positive number, that means you have increasing line. Increasing line means going left to right, you're going up like this. Increase. The one you have in the graph here, it's increasing also. Now, when the slope is negative number, is decreasing. Decreasing looks like this, going down left to right. So if you have negative slope, the line is going down. That's exactly what we have here in the last example, right? The slope is negative 4/3. So that means the line is going to go down when you go to the left. Now, there are also two more options. The slope is 0. And you're going to see the slope is ratio, rise over run. So when you get 0 over number, and I'm going to put it in parentheses here, 0, that means there is no rise over any number. I'm using not hashtag, it's a number symbol. So 0 divided by any number is going to give you 0. And this is the line, this is the slope of a horizontal line. And horizontal line looks like this. It's a horizontal. So from point to point, there's no rise. Stay in the same level. It's horizontal. Okay. Now we have one more option when the slope is undefined, which means, and you're going to get undefined slope when you get 0. I'm sorry, number over 0, when you get 0 in denominator. Because you know, divided by 0, it's undefined. And the slope is a ratio between two numbers, like dividing two numbers. So that's when the slope is undefined, when the run is 0. And in this case, you have vertical line. And vertical line looks like this, going up and down. Okay, so everybody understand the 4 different cases for a straight line and the 4 different slopes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says create possible value for the rise and run showing the graph above, label them on the graph. Okay, so here they're just talking about rise over run, but I just explain everything with the different cases. Now, there is a formula, the slope formula, how to find the slope. So if you want to find the slope and you have given 2 numbers, you don't have the graph, you just have given points, 2 points with coordinates. So the first coordinate here, the first point is x1, y1. And the second point is x2, y2. And then finding the slope is going to be this formula. This is what you're going to use to find the slope if you have given 2 different numbers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody get that? So that's the formula you're going to use. And then you have example. So here we have on the graph, here we have in the graph. So we're going to go, the slope is rise over run. In this case, you're going down because from left to right, you're decreasing, right? The line is decreasing. So from left to right, you're going 3 steps down. So down 3 and 6 to the right. Now, when you go up, it's going to be a positive number. When you go down, it's going to be negative number. Mm-hmm. So that's why you have -3/6. And then -3/6, you can reduce it -1/2. So the slope is -1/2. This is the slope. So you're going to get the same line, it's absolutely the same line. If you do 3 down and 1 to the right and 6 to the right, it's the same if you do 1 down and 3 and 2 to the right. So this and this are the same. It's going to give you the same straight line because the ratio between down and to the right is the same. Make sense?
Yes.
So here you have 2 the same lines. They're the same. Okay, draw 2 lines that are parallel. So do you know how parallel line looks like? It doesn't say increasing, decreasing, just any 2 lines that are parallel. So let's say this is my first line. So where's going to be the second one if they're parallel?
Directly.
What parallel lines means?
It
Right
means
next to it by the side.
They're going to be next to each other and they're going to what? Are they going to cross each other?
No, they're
No.
never gonna touch.
They never cross each other. That's right. So these are two parallel lines, right?
Mhm.
I have the red line, the blue line, they're parallel to each other. Now let's draw two which are perpendicular. So how that looks like?
Looks like a right angle.
Okay, they cross and they make a 90-degree angle. Yes, that's right, right angle. So this is my, if this is my first one, the second one is gonna cross this one and it's gonna cross at 90 degrees. So it's gonna be like this, right?
Mhm.
And this should be 90 degree. Okay, that's right, good job. Let's go, let's see the next one. Two non-vertical lines are parallel if they have the same slope but different y-intercept. So this is what you're going to use here. This is like an explanation what parallel lines are. So if you have, and properties for parallel lines. So if you have two parallel lines, if they're parallel, they have the same slope. Okay, now two lines are perpendicular. This is the definition and also the property of the perpendicular lines if the slope of one is negative reciprocal of the other one. So here, let's say if I have these two, it's I have slope 1 and slope 2. We have two slopes, right? So two lines are perpendicular if one of them, so let's say the second one, M2, is negative reciprocal of the other one. It could be backwards also, okay? It doesn't have to be M2 equals, could be M1 is equal negative 1 over reciprocal. So you flip it over and make it and change the sign, negative reciprocal. So that is important here of the other one. Now, if they're parallel, they're going to have the same slopes. M1 equals M2. Okay? Everybody understanding this? So these are the properties for parallel and perpendicular lines. And then you're going to graph. So how you're going to graph using the slope-intercept method? First, you're going to find the slope and the y-intercept. So one of those, I'm going to do all of those, some of those, and then you're going to graph it. So let's just do a few more of those. We already solved get y by itself, right? When you get y by itself, you can find the slope and you can find the y-intercept for each line. So let's just do few and then we're gonna graph it. So let's start with number 1. If I want to get y by itself, I have to divide by 2, right?
Mhm.
Each term by 2. So the slope-intercept form is going to be y equals 3 over 2x plus 4. Now, can you tell me what is, let me write it actually first. 3 over 2x plus 4. So let's tell me what is m, what is the slope?
3 over 2.
Good job, 3 over 2. And what is the y-intercept?
4.
0, comma 4, that's right. It's 4, but when you're asking for the y-intercept, put 0, comma. Okay, that's right. Yes, good job. Number 2 is the same way. You just divide by negative 3. Number 3, let's do number 3. You have to subtract. You have to move the, or let's do 4. We're going to subtract 6x. You're going to move the x over. So we're going to get negative 3y equals negative 6x plus 9. And then you're going to divide by negative 3, everything by negative 3. So when you do that, you're going to get y equals negative 6 divided by negative 3 is what?
Positive 2.
Positive 2x, good job. And then 9 divided by negative 3?
3.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. My bad.
Yes. So that's my equation in slope-intercept form. Now, what is the slope? M is what?
M is 2.
2.
The slope is 2. And the y-intercept is?
0, negative 3.
Good job. 0, negative 3. That's right. Okay. So everybody understand how to do this? Now let's do number 5. So number 5, again, you have to find y by itself, right? So I'm going to divide by -3. And you're going to get y equals -4. That's the equation. So now what is the slope here?
It would be 0.
Yes, good job. It's going to be 0. And what is the y-intercept?
0, -4.
Yes, good job. 0, -4 is the y-intercept. Now, y equals number, it's a horizontal line. So I'm going to put here, if the equation have only y, it's a horizontal line. And any horizontal line has slope 0. Remember that. Horizontal line has slope 0. Okay? Now, the next one, number 6, is also another one of those exceptions. So what you have here? You have only x. There's no y in this equation, right? So that means you can solve for y. We can solve for x. What you're doing to solve for x? You can multiply by 2 to cancel the 2, right? So we're going to get x equals 2 times 8 is 16. Now, this equation doesn't have y. And if you have it like that, that's a vertical line. It's a vertical line. Now, what is the slope for vertical line? Do you remember I told you?
Is it undefined?
Undefined, good job. It's undefined slope. So if it's undefined and if it's vertical line, where is the y-intercept? Where crossing the y-axis? Or think about if you have
0.
Okay, think about if you have a vertical line, are you gonna cross the y-axis?
No.
Oh,
No.
no.
No, you have it like this, see? This is x, this is y. And if you have a vertical line, and in this case, x equals 16, so it's gonna be like this. And you're gonna cross the x-axis at 16, right? But you never cross the y-axis because it's a parallel to the y-axis, because the y-axis is also vertical line. Yes?
Yes.
So that means in this case, for the y-intercept, you're going to say no. There are no y-intercepts. Okay? And the slope is going to be undefined. Okay. Now, let me ask you something. Do you guys like to ski? How many of you like going to ski in the winter? Nobody?
I can't ski or skate.
Nobody like to snowboard or something?
Does snowboarding count?
Yes, yes,
I've
absolutely.
done that before.
Okay, snowboarding. Okay, so if you like to ski on snowboard, I'm going to show you a video which is going to help you to remember all these different slopes. Okay, so I'm going to watch a little short videos, and it's in YouTube. You can watch it by yourself, but it's like 2 minutes. So I'm going to watch it together, and I want you to remember. Yeah, we don't have a chance to watch video. That's right. So we're going to watch a video which is going to help us to remember. It's just 2 minutes, this one. We're going to remember how to do the slope. When the slope is positive, when it's negative, when it's off, okay?
I am Scott.
It's coming. It's coming. Hold on.
Kelly, a former NASA astronaut, and I'm on a mission to help your kids learn coding and math at Bayou.
Okay, so here it is.
Welcome to the adventure of Slope Dude. Meet Slope Dude. He loves to ski. We are going to follow him and he'll teach us some important aspects of slope. This is the course in skiing today. Again, what he says will teach us about slope. You need to remember that Slope Dude always skis toward the right or eastward. When he starts out, he's going uphill. It's hard work. He says puff, puff, positive as he goes up the mountainside. Puff, puff, positive, puff, puff, positive, puff, puff, positive. Now he's at the top. It was puff, puff, positive all the way up the mountain. but now he can look forward to the downhill. On the way down the mountain, he says, nice, negative, nice, negative. And now after the downhill, he's in for the hardest part of the ski run, the long flat part. He says, this is zero fun. This is zero fun. This is zero fun. This is zero fun. And as he finishes the flat part, he doesn't see well ahead. And all of a sudden, he comes to the edge of a cliff. It's straight down. So frightened is he that he says the worst curse word possible in math and in algebra. Undefined. This has been the Adventure of Slope Dude. Remember always what he said during his ski trip. Up the hill or up the slope, he said, puff, puff, positive. On his downhill run, he said, nice, negative. On the long flat part of the course, he said, this is zero fun. And finally, when he went over the vertical cliff and went straight down, he yelled the worst curse word of math and algebra, undefined. The uphill is a slope with a positive number. The downhill is a slope with a negative number. The flat part is a slope of zero. And the straight up and down or vertical part is undefined. This has been the Adventure of Slope Dude. Thanks for viewing.
Okay, so what do you guys think? I see in the chat a lot of things going on. Is it interesting? The slope dude. Okay, so yeah, so remember when you're going up, it's positive. When you go down, it's negative. No, it's backwards, right? Okay, that's right. So when you go up, it's puff, puff, positive. When you go down, it's nice negative slope. When you go to the flat part, you have to push yourself, so it's zero fun. And that's when you get slope zero. And then the curse word is undefined, okay? So just remember the slope, okay? Any questions?
Nope, that's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and continue. Just gonna do like one of these fractions, 7 or 8. Which one you wanna do, 7 or 8?
Could we do 8?
Yes, let's do 8. So for number 8, we're gonna get y by itself again, but you can just get rid of the fractions first. So you can multiply by common denominator both sides. So one of the denominators is 2, the other one is 3. So I'm gonna multiply each of those both sides terms. I'm gonna multiply by, what I'm gonna multiply by?
6.
6, good job. We're gonna multiply by 6. So I'm multiplying 1/2 by 6. I'm gonna multiply 2/3 by 6. And I'm gonna multiply 4 by 6. Everything, oops, not 4. Everything by 6. So 6 divided by 2 is gonna be 3. 6 divided by 3 is gonna be 2. So what I have is 3 times 1 is 3x, so I get 3x, minus 2 times 2 is 4y, equals 6 times 4 is 24. See, when you get rid of the fractions, you get another equation with no fractions, and you can do the same we just did. You subtract 3x, move the 3x over, and then you're gonna divide by the number in front of y. So you have negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 24. And just gonna divide by negative 4. So we get, what we get? Y equals negative over negative is gonna be positive 3 over 4x. And then positive and negative give me negative 6. So this is the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. The slope is gonna be what? The number in front of x. And the y-intercept is what? The number?
-6.
0 and negative 6, that's right. The number by itself. So that's how you do number 8. When you have fraction, don't be afraid of them. Just get rid of them behind the denominator. Okay? Okay, so that's how you do this. That's how you solve for y. In order to use the slope-intercept method, you have to get the equation in that form. And this is how you do it. Now, number 9, it says, write the equation for a line with slope 3/4. So you can just pick any equation. Can you give me one example? Y equals what? If the slope
Like any
is,
number?
I mean, the slope has to be 3/4.
So
Be 3/4x
Yes,
plus like 4, any number.
3/4x plus.
You can do plus 4.
Yes, you can do plus any number. Yes. So this number here can vary. And 3/4x have to be there. Okay? That's right. Now, let's say what else we have here. So this here 4 can be any number.
Including a negative?
Yes, any number. It could be 0 also. So the y-intercept can be any number. 3/4x have to be 3/4x x, 3/4x. Okay? Now, the next one is write the equation for a line with y-intercept is given. So again, think about what's going to be the equation if the y-intercept is 0, -50. So just give me example. Y equals
Y
what?
equals 3/4x plus -50. I mean, -50, not plus.
Yes, -50. That's right. So you want to use 3/4 the slope. So here it's a different question. So you can put any number for the slope. It doesn't have to be 3/4.
Yeah, I just said 3/4 because it's
Okay. Yes,
been
you
in
can
the
do
last
3/4.
two.
Yes, you can do 3/4. You can, I'm just going to 1/5 x. You can have any number. So this could be any number. So in this case, the slope can be any number. And then the y-intercept is 0, -50. So it have to be -50. So -50 have to be there, but the number in front of x can be any number. Okay? That's right. Good job. Everybody understand that?
yes.
Yes, okay. So now we're going to continue with the actual graphing equation. So we're going to graph it actually. So we're going to use the slope-intercept method to graph. So what you need to do first, you need to get y by itself. So I'm going to solve this and get y by itself. So we're doing the same what we just did. So I'm going to subtract 2x in both sides. This cancels, so I have 3y equals 15 minus 2x, right? And then we're going to divide by 3 both sides. Everything by 3. And the equation in slope-intercept form is y equals 15 divided by 3 is what? 5 minus 2/3x. So this is my equation in slope-intercept form. Now, from that equation, can you tell me what is the slope and what is the y-intercept?
-2/3.
Good job. -2/3 is the slope. Yes. And what is the y-intercept?
0.5.
Yes, absolutely. 0.5 is the y-intercept. So after you find the slope, after you find the y-intercept, we're going to graph now. And this is how you graph it. You're going to start with, so the first step is you're going to graph the y-intercept, which is 0.5. So I'm going to graph 0.5 is this point here, right? On the y-axis at 5. You're going to graph that point. And then from that point, you're going to do the second step of your graph is you're going to do the slope. What that means? This -2/3 you're gonna, if it's negative, you're gonna move the negative to the top. Because negative, oh, come on now. My computer is doing something. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna go page, sorry, something happened. I'll go back here. Okay. So the second step of graphing after you graph your y-intercept on the y-axis, the second step is you're gonna take the slope and you're gonna do the slope. So if the slope is negative, you're gonna do -2 in the top. So remember the slope, I'm gonna write it here, is rise over run, right? So your slope, our slope here is -2/3. So the negative is gonna go to the top like this. And what that means, or if it's a whole number, you're gonna make it as a fraction. It's gonna be over 1 if it's a whole number. So the number in the top is negative, means you're gonna go 2 down because it's negative. And you're gonna do 3 over to the right. Okay, so from the slope, from the y-intercept, you're gonna do the slope. So from 5, I'm gonna go 2 steps up, and I'm gonna go 3 steps over, and this is gonna be my next step, next point on the graph. And you can do it a few more times if you have room or if you wanna do it. So then you're gonna go 2 up and 3
I
over.
thought you said down.
Yeah, I thought you said down too.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Yes, 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 I said down. Thank you. So it's gonna be going down. Thank you. So you're gonna go 2 down and 3 over. And then you can do a few more times if you want. 2 down and 3 over. So you're listening. Good job. And then if you want, you can go more. 2 and 3. So pretty much you're gonna have, you need 2 points, but if you want, you can just do a few more just to be easier for you to graph. And this is how the line looks like. Okay, so when you graph with slope-intercept method, the first step is always graphing the y-intercept, and from the y-intercept you do the slope. You can go up and down, depends if it's positive or negative slope, and then the number in the denominator is how many steps you're gonna go over to the right. Okay, everybody understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, let's do a few more. We have, let's do these 2, 3, and then we have a few more. Okay, so we're gonna go over number 12, 72, yes. Okay, number 12 in page 72. So again, we have to graph this using the slope-intercept method. So first we have to get y by itself. So first we're gonna add 5x to move it over to get y by itself. And we get y equals, I'm gonna put 5x in front plus 1. So this is the equation in slope-intercept form because it's already 1 y by itself. We're gonna find the y-intercept first. I'm gonna write y-intercept first. What is it? 0 and
1.
1. Good job. 1 is by itself. And then the slope is gonna be 5, right? Now, because I'm gonna graph, I'm gonna make it as a fraction, 5 over 1. So I'm gonna do 5 steps up and 1 over, 1 to the right. Okay, so from the y-intercept, that's where I'm gonna go first, 1. Again, when you graph, make sure you check the scale on the graph. Here we have 2, 4, 6, so that means between 0 and 2 is 1. Then from 1, you're gonna go 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's gonna be at 6. And then 1 over, so this is gonna be the next point. Okay? And then you can do more if you want, but in this case, you're gonna be out of the given scale, so you can just connect those 2 points. That's the graph.
So if we need like another point, can we just reverse it and go the other way?
Yes, you can go the other way. Yes, you instead of going up, you can go down, and then now instead of going to the right, you can go to the left. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so that's how you graph it. This is the graph of -5. Number 13. We can get rid of them by to get rid of all the fractions. What is the number you're going to multiply each fraction by?
8.
8. Good job. We have 8, 4, and 2. And the common denominator is going to be 8. So multiply everything by 8. So 8 and 8 cancel. 8 divided by 4 is going to be 2. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we have left with, this is 1, 5x minus 2y equals 4. And then you're going to do the same steps. You're going to subtract 5x in both sides to get y by itself. You have to get slope-intercept form. So you have -2y equals -5x plus 4. Then you're going to divide by -2 each of those. And we have y equals negative and negative give me positive 5 over 2x. Positive divided by negative is -2. So this is the equation in slope-intercept form. The y-intercept is going to be 0 and -2. And the slope is 5 over 2. It's positive 5 over 2. So it's going to be 5 up over 2 over to the right. So we're going to start with the y-intercept. So we're going to go to -2. And from -2, you're going to go 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 over. So this is the second point. And you can do one more time if you want. Okay, so these are my points. You need only 2 points to graph. And then every time you graph, you can go back and check what is the slope? Positive number. Is the line increasing? Yes, it's going up, right? So we're good. Always double check because sometimes it's really easy to, instead of positive, you do negative slope and it's happened. Okay, so you can just double check that. Okay, next one is 14. And 14, we're doing the same way. I'm gonna graph this. Do you want to graph this or let's do it real quick. So what you're multiplying by, we're gonna get rid of the fractions again. So denominators are 4, 2, and 3. What you're gonna multiply by? $12. Good job. That's right. Okay, so 12 divided by 4 is 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we have 3 times 1 is 3x plus 6y equals -8. You're going to subtract 3x. And you have 6y negative 3x minus 8, and averaging over 6. Now here it's recommended to reduce the fractions. Negative 3 over 6 is negative 1/2 x. And then minus 4 over 6, you can also reduce, divide by 2, 4 over 3. So this is the equation in slope-intercept form. Now looking at that equation, the y-intercept is what? 0 and
4/3
negative 4/3, yes.
negative, sorry.
Okay. And then the slope is negative 1/2. So in this case, you always move the negative in the top. So it's going to be 1 down and 2 over, right? Because it's negative 1, it's 1 down and 2 over. So we're going to start with negative 4 over 3. Negative 4 over 3 is negative 1 point something. So it's going to be somewhere around here. I mean, the scale is really small, so you can just put it exactly at negative 4/3. And then from here, we're going to go 1 down and then 2 over. So it's going to be around here. And then connect those 2 points and draw a straight line. Okay? Now let's look at the line. Is it increasing or decreasing line?
Decrease.
Decreasing, that's right. So
Decreasing.
decreasing line has positive or negative slope?
Negative.
Negative, that's right. And the slope we have is negative. Okay, good job. So that was how you graph. And then we have another one. We have 2 more pages to go. We have number 15. We have to write this one in slope-intercept form. Find both the x and the y-intercept. Can you to find another point on the graph of the line? So can you find another point? So let's see. So first we have negative 4x plus y equals 0. So if I want to graph this, get this slope-intercept form, I need to move the 4x over to get y by itself. So I'm going to add 4x. And we're going to get y equals 4x. Okay? So y equals 4x. What that means? What is the y-intercept?
Zero?
Yes, because here you can just think about this invisible plus 0, right? You can have plus 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the y-intercept is 0 and 0. You're crossing the y-axis at the origin, which is okay. It's happened. And then what is the slope?
Four X.
Just 4.
Yeah, just 4.
Slope is only a number, and I'm going to put it over 1. So that means you're going to go 4 up and 1 over. Okay. So now here, if I want to use the slope-intercept method, I'm going to put this point here, 0, 0. And then I'm going to go 4 up and 1 over. And that's my straight line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, here it says find x-intercept and y-intercept. So this is how you graph with slope-intercept method. Now, if you follow exactly the direction says find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, the method we did last time, x-intercept and y-intercept, both of those are going to be 0, 0. So x-intercept is 0, 0, y-intercept is 0, 0. So I have only 1 point here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you use the x-intercept and the y-intercept method. So in this case, we need another point, because with 1 point, you can graph a line, you need another point. And to find another point, you can just pick any number for x, plug it in into the equation and find y. Or pick any y, plug it in and find x. Make sense?
Mhm.
So you can do it both ways here. Doesn't matter how you do it, it's gonna be the straight line. So for example, if I do the x-intercept and y-intercept method, I have to get another point because 0, 0, using the x-intercept and the y-intercept, both of those are 0, 0. 1 point is not enough to graph a line. So that's why I need another point. And how you find another point? They're asking, what can you do to find another point? You can just follow the equation and pick any number. So let's say I can put whatever you want for x. Pick a number for x.
2/3.
You can just put 2, one number. Or let's do, yeah, you can do 2/3. But why you want to work with fractions?
I don't know.
Okay, so I mean, let's put 2 or 3, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Do you want 2 or 3?
2.
You want 2? Okay. So x is 2, and then I'm going to replace in this equation x with 2. So it's going to be -4 times 2 plus y equals 0. So that's how you find the other point. -4 times 2 is -8 plus y equals 0. So what you're doing to get y, you're going to add 8 in both sides. You're going to get y equals 8. So the second point is going to have coordinates x is 2, y is 8. So it's going to go 2 and 8 is right here.
Hmm.
So you're going to have 2 and 8, 0, 0, and that's going to be the same straight line. Okay?
Mhm.
So these are like two different methods how to graph this line. Just the two methods you know so far combined. Okay? Then let's do number 16. We have plot the point 6, -2, 8, -3, then drew a line that passes through them. So let's do the first step. Okay, we're graphing 6 and -2 is over here. And then 8 and -3 is over here. So I'm going to connect those 2 points. And we're going to get a straight line. Right? Okay, that's 8. Then what they're asking after that? Find the slope of this line by counting the rise overrun between those 2 points. So what's happened? What is the rise or what's happened here? What is the slope? So from this point, the first point, I'm going to say point 1, point 2. What I'm going to do 1 down, right? And 2 over. Everybody see that? So it's going to be -1 over 2 over. Everybody understand what I'm doing?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to go -2 because you're going down from the point 6 -2, you're going to go down 1 and then 2 over. So it's going to be, I'm going to write 1. I'm going to write 1 down and 2 over. So the slope is going to be -1 over 2. And that's the slope. Okay, so that was number 15. 16, okay. Okay, and then let's see what else we have in the next page. So the next page, we have to find the slope using the slope formula. And then talking about parallel perpendicular line, and then that's your homework, page 75. Actually, we don't have page 75, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we're gonna go over number 17 and number 18 and all of those questions. you have to find the slope of a line. And here we're using the formula, slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the formula you're going to use. So before I plug it in this formula, I'm going to start with 17. I'm going to use name each number. So 6 is going to be x1 and negative 2 is going to be y1, x1, y1. And then the other point is x2 and y2. And then plug it in into the formula. We have y2 minus y1. So it's negative 3 minus negative 2 over 8 minus 6. Now negative 2 next to each other make a positive. So negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1 over 2. And that's exactly what we did on the graph, right? Negative 1/2. So that's how you do that. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, let's do 18. 18 the same way. You have x1, y1, x2, and y2. We have fractions, but we're going to do the same. So on the top, you have y2 minus y1. So that's negative 7 over 6 minus 5 over 6. And then in the bottom of the fraction, we're going to put 5 over 3 minus 2 over 3. So on the top, negative 7 minus 5 is negative 12 over 6. And in the bottom, 5 minus 2 is 3 over 3. So 3 over 3 obviously is 1. Negative 12 over 6 is negative 2 over 1 is just negative 2. Okay? Any questions? Okay, and then we're going to do number 19. We have, again, x1, y1, x2, and y2. So the formula gives me negative 3 over 8 minus negative 3. Make sure you put the two negatives so it can change to positive. And then negative 2 minus 5. So what you need to do in the top, this is positive 3, right? And it's over 1. So I have to find common denominator to add those two. So here I'm multiplying by 8 up and down to make the same denominator, 8. So we're going to have negative 3 over 8. Minus and minus is plus. 3 times 8 is 24 over 8. And averaging over negative 7. Because you're adding negative 2 and negative 5, you're adding them become negative 7. And then from here, we're going to combine the top. So it's going to be negative 3 plus 24 is negative 21 over 8. And I need to divide by negative 7, right? Divided by negative 7 means multiplying by reciprocal, multiplying by 1 over negative 7. And then from here, negative, negative giving positive. 21 and 7, you can divide by 7 is going to be 3. So my slope is going to be 3 over 8. Okay? So just simplifying fractions. Now, if you're not sure how to do all these simplifying fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, you can use symbol up and you can just enter the fractions the way they are. Okay? Next one, 20. Any questions? And if I go fast, please let me know. So we have x1, nobody said anything, so I'm continue, y1, x2, and y2. So we're going to have y2 minus y1. So it's negative 4 over 7 minus 4 over 7. So that's y2 minus y1 over x2 1/2 minus 1. We're going to combine the top, so that's negative and negative, you're going to add. So that's negative 8/7 divided by, this is 1/1. You can multiply by 2 to get the common denominator, so it's negative 2 over negative 2. So it's going to be negative 1/2, right?
Wait, miss, wouldn't the second -4/7 on the top be 4/5?
Oh, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. I don't know why I put 7. Thank you. Negative 4/7 minus 4/5. Yes, 1/2. Yes. So it's yes, that's gonna change it. Thank you. It's gonna change the top. Yeah, we're gonna change that. Now here in the bottom we have 1/2 minus 2/2 is gonna be negative 1/2. Yes, thank you for that. And then from here we're gonna find common denominator, right? So we're gonna multiply by we're gonna multiply this by 5 and this by 7 to make 35. So it's gonna be negative. The denominator is gonna be 35. Now negative, so we add in 40. So this is 5 times 4 times 5, I'm sorry, 20 and 28, right? So it's going to be negative 48/35. And then we're going to divide. When you divide negative, negative make positive. So I just have to divide 48/35. Divide by 1/2 means multiply by reciprocal by 2/1. Okay, and that's gonna be you can reduce, so just multiply by 48 by 2, 96/35. And that's the swap, whatever you get. Okay, then 21 and 22, let's do both. We have, again, we're gonna name each number. So the first one is gonna be x1, y1, and the second point is x2 and y2. And then the formula is y2 minus y1, so it's gonna be -3 minus -3 over 1 minus 5. Now negative and negative make it +3. -3 plus +3 is 0/-4 is gonna be a 0. So these 2 points are on the horizontal line because the slope is 0, right? I'm just gonna put here on middle note, it's a horizontal line because the slope is 0. And that's how you get slope 0, when you get 0 of a number. Remember that? Okay. And then the 22, the same way, you're gonna have x1, y1, x2, and y2. And the formula give me y2 minus y1, so it's -7 minus 4 over 1 minus 1. So it's gonna be -11/0. And again, division by 0, it's undefined. And if you have undefined slope, what type of line is that? You're falling down the cliff, right? So what type of line?
Vertical.
Vertical line. Okay, so that's how you find the slope using 2 points. So just plug it in into the formula. Now, let's do number 23 and 24, where we have we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular line. So number 23, you have line 1 and line 2. You have 2 equations given for the 2 lines. First, you have to find the slope of the line 1. So what is the slope of the line 1? Just looking at it. I'm going to use M1 equals what?
M1 is -2/5.
Good job. Is the number in front of X? Yes, good job. Now let's find the slope of line 2. In order to find it, I have to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2x. You have to do that first. So we're going to get 5y equals 15 minus 2x. And then I'm going to divide by 5 to get y by itself. So what is the slope here? M2.
-2/5.
Yes, -2/5. Now, what do you notice about their slopes? And what
They
that
cancel
means
each
about their
other.
graphs? Yes?
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
Okay, what about their slopes? Slope 1 and slope 2, what they are?
They're the same.
Mhm.
They're the same numbers, right? So the slopes are the same. If they're the same, what you're going to say about their graphs?
They're parallel.
They're parallel. Good job. They're parallel because they have the same slope. Good job. They're parallel lines. Okay, that's right. Good job. Everybody understand that? So if you have the same slopes, they're parallel lines. Okay, let's try the next one, 24. So we have given again line A, line B. We have to find the slope of the line A. So that means I have to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract x in both sides. Minus x. So I have -3y equals 1 minus x, right? Going to divide by -3. So I'm going to get y equals -1/3. Now negative and negative, it's a positive. Now this is invisible, -1x, right? So it's going to be positive 1/3x. So that's my equation in slope-intercept form. So can you tell me what is the slope? M1 is what?
The slope is 1/3.
Yes, 1/3, the number in front of x, yes. So that's my first slope, 1/3.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's find the slope of the second line. So we have y minus 3x plus 4 equals all of this. So first I'm going to add 3x. And I can also subtract 4. So moving 3x, moving 4. So we're going to get y equals 1 minus 4 is what? -3.
Mhm.
And then minus 6x plus 3x is minus 3x. Okay?
Mhm.
So looking at this line, can you tell me what is the slope to?
-3.
-3, good job. -3 is the slope. That's the number in front of x. So now looking at those two slopes, did you notice something about them, about the slopes?
They're reciprocal, so it's perpendicular.
They are negative reciprocals, yes. So the slope, see if you flip, then the opposite sign and they're reciprocal of each other. Yeah, so I'm going to put negative reciprocals. So what that means, they're perpendicular. That's right, good job. Yes, so that's what you have. This is what you have for today. Perpendicular, it's not working again. Okay, so the two lines are perpendicular for number 24. And this is what we have for today. Okay, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see on your screen.
I know something happened with my screen and everything disappeared. I can't see anything.
Hmm.
I just put my computer to charge, but it's not that. Okay, so you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
She's gone again.
I like your Pokemon poster in the bag.
I got it from Five Below.
That's cool. And that's the original like 150, right?
The
Oh.
original 151.
Yeah, 151. Is Mew on there?
Yes, he's right here. Right here.
Oh, there you go.
Mewtwo and Mew.
That's cool. Man, I hate the new Pokemon, honestly. They're not
That's
even,
kind of weird.
they do. Like, I think you have like, there's one that's like a sword, which of course, like, it's not even that genuine anymore.
Me and my brother still play the old one on his old Game Boy.
Oh, that's cool. Do you
It's all
use
like
it?
glitchy.
Oh, that's cool. Like a little emulator or like the actual old school like Game Boy?
No, the actual old school Game Boy.
Oh shoot, he still has one of those?
Yeah.
Nice.
He
Dang,
found it. And he found it at a garage sale for like $10 before it became like a whole thing.
really?
Yeah.
The treasure right there. And it's working. Imagine that.
Bought a bunch of different like little tools, and he's like, he made his PC, so he likes doing all that stuff. So he made a bunch of things to that one too. I can't say what he did because I don't pay attention. Oh, she's back.
Power was good while it lasted.
I wish we were in class though, because I hate being at home and being quiet and bored.
Me too. Like it's hard to stay motivated in a lot of ways.
Right.